Good morning, YouTube. All right. Well, no deer for Kevy again today. They cleaned me out at. They came about 27 after 6 last night, so way past hunt time. And by 1 o'clock, they had cleaned out all the food. So, yeah, no deer this morning. Something was behind my blind again, though, which was fairly big, same as yesterday. I'm like, what the hell? Show yourself. Maybe you're a deer. I can shoot you and get this over with. I'm hemorrhaging money here, which I am. I'm like almost done bag number 7 now. I think 6 or 7 we're on. I don't know. I lost count. My wife will know. She keeps all the receipts. This is what your deer cost, honey. Try and reduce that. Anyway, so I originally was borrowing this from a friend, but then we made a deal on it. Now, this is a 303 Lee Enfield. So it's chambered in 303 British. It's an SHTLE Lithgow, so also made in Australia. 1916 is the date stamp on the shield here. The serial numbers match on the barrel and on the receiver, but not on the bolt, so it's not the original bolt, obviously. Or they would all match, apparently, from what I've been told. 10-round mag. Okay, fine, that's cool. And at least we don't have to pin these mags yet in Canada. Does have the elevation, I think they call this a leaf style sight or something. Anyways, I'm still trying to figure out a lot of this shit. But anyways, its starting point for numbers is actually 200, okay, 200 yards. But if you pull it back all the way and you check your spacing visually, it's about 100 realistically. Yep, that'd be 100, because 200 to 300 might be about the same spacing. So I've had it out as far as 100 yards. It's pretty close to the 100. It's actually just a little over 100, because it shoots about 2 inches high roughly at 100 and just a little bit higher at 50. But you know, hey, you're dealing with open sights on something that's older than we are, a lot of us, because yeah, this thing's well over 100 plus years old, right? And it's a great shooter too. The barrel is good and straight, the rifling's good, the bore's good, muzzle's good, so your crown is fine on this thing. Great gun, and everything functions as it should, so, you know, how do you complain? But somebody at one time did sporterize the stock. Now, he picked it up used off of some guy, and then, of course, I got it off my buddy. So he didn't do anything to the stock. He wasn't the one that sporterized this. Anyways, what else can we tell you about this thing? Value, can't tell you a damn thing, because it's all over the map on these guns. Brass on the back, trap door. Your cleaning bottle, your cleaning kit goes in here, which would be a bottle of oil. You unscrew it, it's got like a shaft on it, a little spoon, so you can drip your oil onto your parts. And then you'd have a rope and some other pieces with a weight on that rope to, you know, pop her down the front and whoosh, zip her down and clean her out. Don't have the cleaning kit, but I did find on the web a pile of Lee Enfield parts for about 40 bucks, and has 2 tubes of oil. And you only need the one, and only the one goes in the gun. But it is a really deep hole. Like, this thing's about 1 foot long, and it goes all the way up to about here where the top of my thumbnail is, into that stock. So that's quite the distance up the stock. So, you know, and those bottles are only about maybe this long, right? So they're only maybe 5 inches. I'm hoping I can get the parts kit today. And if I do, maybe I'll do an update video for you guys at some point. But there's not much to these things anyways. They're very simplistic design. You know, so even if you wanted to remove the bolt, pull it back, flip the key, bolt drops out. That easy. Okay? And go ahead, start your cleaning. You don't want to take out the mag. There's a little button release here. Push it, comes right out. Piece of cake. Okay? Now I got to get this back in here. There we go. Now, putting the bolt back in, make sure that thing is up. Flip it down. It clicks. And now this cocks on close, okay? So when you go forward, cocks on close. You can have 10+1 in this thing. But then you're going to be like, well, but it's cocked because there's one round. Pull back like this, pull the trigger in, and very ever so gently let that go forward. This way you've got 1 in the pipe, 10 in the mag, you got 11 shots. Perfect, right? If you need that many to hunt with, you need a new hobby, okay? You shouldn't need more than tops, probably 3 or 4 in the mag, I guess. I don't know. Depends on how shitty of a shot you are, I guess. But anyhow, so yeah, so you're ready to go now, but you can pull the trigger all you want, nothing's going to happen, all right? But you can just manually cock it, and you're ready to go. So, and boof, and then you just eject, spin it round, pop the next one in, and then you're automatically ready to go. Now, the one thing about being a left-handed shooter, and this is a right-handed bolt, is I have to hold the gun by the stock in such a way that I can get the bolt open and jam my next round in there. Okay, now, some of you will find that a little bit inconvenient, but you know what? They didn't exactly make a lot of left-handed guns, and they still don't. Okay, even with today's modern guns, there's still not a lot of lefty choices. And being a left-handed shooter primarily, because I can't hold a right-handed gun properly, even get it to my cheek, it's just a thing. It's physics of the body, right? But I do prefer this side, because I've always shot this side with bolt-action pellet guns anyways my whole life. Never bothered me, right? However, okay, you are normally holding the gun this way so that you can cock a lot faster and get back up there. But for me to try and, I can't physically do it. So, but anyhow, it may be a bit of an inconvenience, but hey, you know what? It works fine. And I had one gun in my collection, that had a left-handed bolt, semi-auto, because I figured, well, you know, at least I won't get pinged, right? I'm not getting pinged by my other one with the bolt on the right side, so I ditched that one with the bolt on the left, because it drove me nuts. Because I'm like, oh, I got a cock on this side, and I'm so used to this, right? And it's like, to hell with it. I'll stick with right-handed bolts. I'm still shooting left-handed. And it is an ambidextrous stock, so it really doesn't make a difference. And lefty shooters, we just deal with it. That's all we do. So, but I would rate this at a 4 out of 5. Only reason being, nothing is ever perfect, right? But it's the sight. It should, in my opinion, be at a minimum of 100 yards, okay? Realistically. Now, this is just a tad over 100 because it shoots about 2 inches high at 100. So you've got to aim 2 inches below your bullseye to hit the bullseye, especially target shooting. But when you're looking at hunting an animal, if your animal is in that 100 to 150 yard range, you're still going to have to aim a little bit lower. But if your animal at least is at 200 yards, well, then you're bang on. Just set it to 200 and away you go. But then you go from 200 to 300 to 400 to 500 up to 2,000 yards on this site. So you don't have anything in between that. You have to change your aim point. Now, I don't know the precise flight of the, this thing uses rifle line ammo, 303 British. It's cheap. It's the cheapest ammo you're going to buy. It's $50 a box Canadian. But from what I saw between 100 yards and 50 yards, it's almost an inch difference where it's, you know, when you come in closer, you go higher. So you're about 2 inches at 100 yards, and you got that at the very pit of the bottom, which is actually a little over 100 by a bit. You're going to be about 3 inches roughly at 50, around there. So try and aim about 3 inches low. So if you're shooting deer and you're going to go for that shoulder shot, you know, try and aim probably 2 inches above the kneecap, basically. And you should hit right in the shoulder if you're within that 100-yard kind of range, 150 yard, something like that. But if you're at 200 yards or 300 or 400 yards, well, then you'll be perfectly fine. You just got to make sure your windage is set properly, which I did sight this thing in when I was borrowing it from him before we did the deal. And I got used to shooting it quite quickly. We got sighted in fairly fast, so we didn't use a lot of ammo for that. But you do got to watch the barrel heat. So about every 3 shots, put her down, let her sit for about 20 minutes or so, then you can fire a couple more shots. High caliber guns get really super hot, and if that barrel gets too hot, you're going to bitch the barrel every single time, even on modern guns. Probably worse so on modern guns, because these were built out of better steel. But anyways, today's guns are today's guns. But for a deer hunting gun, I think I'm going to enjoy this one. But I am looking at another gun for deer hunting too. I'm looking at a 243. I'm looking into for next year. We'll see. Maybe I'll just keep using this one, you know. But there is actually a scope mount for this that mounts onto the stripper clip bar. So no drilling or tapping, no modifying the gun. It's a good solid clamp up, and you can put a regular scope on this thing, which I am going to end up doing in the end. You know, that's my plan anyways. We'll see how far I get with it. But just with the open sights alone, it works fantastic. It's a good true shooter. So it doesn't have a ton load of ammo through it, you know. So it's a pretty good rifle. So, and it's hard to find a Enfield these days with good rifling, you know, and let alone the muzzle being worn out. And you'll know when you do the bullet test. How much time are we at? Yeah, let's do the bullet test and show you how you do that. This is step 1. Step 2 is a 30 caliber brush. Run it from the back forward or the front back, whichever way you want to go with that. And anyways, if the brush, put a marker on the rod, and make sure the rod can rotate. And if the brush follows the rifling, then that means your main energy, your barrel, that's good. Okay. The bullet test, on the other hand, that's actually the most critical part. So you want to take a bullet, and yeah, I guess we can do it this way. So you put the bullet in like that, okay? Now, the bullet's got a taper, and the shoulder starts right about here, okay, right where my pinky is here, okay? Now, if that bullet does not stop there and it goes deeper, you've got a muzzle problem, okay? Which means good luck hitting anything, right? And if it goes too deep, well, you definitely got a major problem. My buddy, who's a gunsmith and machinist, he actually ran into a Enfield recently, and he actually had to chop 2 inches off this sucker, and then, of course, remount the front sight. And that fixed the muzzle problem. So now it's a really decent shooter. So, but yeah, the last 2 inches was definitely porked on that thing. So, you know, that's the thing you gotta watch on these. But that's the bullet test, and the other one's the bore brush test. And away you go. So if it passes both of those, you probably still have an awful lot of life left in that barrel yet. Anyhooch, I am out of here on that note. Stay tuned for more. I've got a couple more videos going on today. But I wanted to show you guys this thing. If I do kill a deer with it, I'll let you know. Deer season doesn't end until December 15th, but I only have till this Saturday to use a rifle. So I've got to get out on Crown land with this thing, because that's the only place I can use that thing. So anyway, we'll see what happens this week anyway. But that's the rifle. What they're worth is all over the map, and I don't really care. It's a gun, it's functional, gets the job done, it shoots great. It's all I care about. It's all anybody should care about, but some people are a little bit retentive on that, so hey, to each their own, right? Anyhow, on that note, see ya!